Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Oakland Raiders. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Set the engine. Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
First down, Brissett. He completes this one to Mack. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
That's the way.
Brissett. And he's got his man, Hilton. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 50-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Keep it playing. 50. No game on this defense. No game.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Markel Lee racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett, and he's going to go down again. Chris Wormley able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go, back man.
58, right there.
No.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They run it with Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Here we go. Run. With 20.
I got you. Check your hot read. Check 3.
5-9.
Now Wentz. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Mack off the draw play. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
They just get the play off. Now Brissett under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Markel Lee, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 19-yard line.
Here we go. 20.
58, the mic. Man out. Share. Watch the safety creep. 25, check 25, check 25. Slam.
He's got a first down past the 30. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 81 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken very short.
The Colts take over first down at their own 29-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Brissett sets to throw it. And an alley to run. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, 58 is the mic. 58 is the mic. Rapid. 58, boys, 58. 58 is the mic. Go. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Throwing. Brissett. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Here we go. Set. It's coming to Andy. Watch the run. They're running. Hey. 50 the mic. 50 the mic.
A first down throw for Brissett. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
58 the mic. I'm coming after you. Yes, sir. 58, right over there.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Well, another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Watch the edge. Pick the edge.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
Five.
From the gun, it's Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing on 2nd and long. Brissett, complete to Hilton. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
A 12-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken short. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll take this one near the 25. Call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett. And some room to maneuver. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Waiting. Hey, empty.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Brissett now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Markel Lee in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete dump. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Right there. 6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Kill. Rush in. Under 10, 10. Man 5-7. Check 13.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Strong right. Foot out.
On play action, Wentz. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 42.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Mike 50. All right.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jacobs. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Hey, exit.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just to pin their ears back and get after it.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
The 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Bailey got the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tim Williams in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Brissett. And the pressure gets to him again. Tim Williams able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hey, Lou.
Now a carry for Jacobs. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
No gain on the play.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Wentz. He's going to let this go for the end zone. In for the score as his guys continue to pour it on. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. And this is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Second and 6. At the 39-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On second down, it's Mack. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's first and 10. They'll run it. It's Mack. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
58.
On second and 12, Brissett. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. The Colts on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is third down and 12. Gun, Brissett. Catch made here by Campbell. And he coughed it up. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Here's Jacobs on first and 10. Room to run again. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Empty.
Check nickel. Shift. Hey, alert 3.
Check. Lucky.
On first down, it's Jacobs. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On second down now, it's Jacobs. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to first and goal.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1.
I got you. I got you.
6 guard. Check 6 guard.
Ram. Check 3.
Running the toss here to Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Bailey got the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Raiders 42, Colts 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Mike, 58, right there.
Bang, 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 bang.
Hustle. 58's the Mike, 58. 58's the Mike.
Right here.
Brissett to throw on first. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Brissett now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Brissett now. Ebron with it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50.
They can't hang with us. Mike 50.
Brissett on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
You got him. You got him. You got him.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Brissett. And now here is another interception. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Now wins. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 39. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver.
At the 13-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 70 ending. Watch the screen. Pass.
Hey, no, look, we got Mike 50. Mike 50.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Campbell making the catch. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on first.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Marlon Mack. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jacobs. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Here we go. 120. Sunday.
Nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Check. 36. No. Watch the safety creep. 20.
On 3rd down, it's Jacobs. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Raiders, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.